really doesn't matter to me what you think about Mike Adams or any of the rest. But, you know, this is what's happening, folks. And unfortunately, I don't see it getting better. And you better pay attention!
A very important but rather quick update for you here. I've been talking to a lot of people, doing interviews, and I have my intel sources and so on about what's coming. And I keep hearing many different rumors and different intel sources with tips and so on that indicate things are going to get so crazy between now and election day, so bonkers, that even what you're seeing now with the Black Lives Matter terrorists having seized part of downtown Seattle, that's just a small taste of things to come. That's not even the craziest thing you're going to see. I want you to be fully prepared for what's about to unfold here, because the radical left is waging a full-blown war on America. This seizing of downtown Seattle is just the first step. They're going to seize other cities. They're going to carry out their campaigns of mass rapings and sodomy. They're actually raping men in front of their families in Seattle right now. This is what Black Lives Matter is doing, according to eyewitnesses. They're raping children. They are going to start executing white people just for being white. They're going to start executing police officers. So if you're a member of law enforcement listening to this, you should know that the radical left probably has your name, and they've got you on a map that's shared with the other Antifa members. They've got a picture of your house. They know your family members. They know everything about you, and they're going to come try to kill you. There's going to be one.
Sound asleep and too afraid of what might show up while you're dreaming. Nobody sees you. Nobody will believe. Every day you try to pick up all the pieces, all the memories they somehow never leave you. Nobody sees you. Nobody will believe. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. God only knows how it's killing you. But there's a kind of love that God only knows. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. God only knows the real you. There's a kind of love that God only knows. Keep a cover over every single secret. So afraid of someone so that they would leave. Somebody sees you. Somebody will never leave you. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. God only knows how it's killing you. But there's a kind of love that God only knows. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. God only knows the real you. There's a kind of love that God only knows. For the lonely, for the ashamed, the nervous to take a meal from McDonald's because I can't see it being made. I don't know what's going on with people nowadays, but please, just give us a break. So I decided to come to the McDonald's at Love's on the Ford Avenue exit, and I waited in line to get my food. I had already done my mobile order so that, people don't pay for my stuff because I just always like to pay for it myself. But I'm on my way home from work. When I pull up to the window, they hand me my receipt, so I go to the second window to get my food, and I'm waiting.
Need to turn
I'm
your
waiting.
skulls down a little.
And I'm waiting. And so the girl comes to the window and asks me what my order was. I repeat my order and my coffee order, and they ask me to pull up because my food's not ready. It's an English muffin meal with a hash brown and coffee, and I'm still waiting, and they ask me to pull up. So I pull up forward, and a girl comes out with my coffee, and just the coffee, and she hands it to me, and I have my window down, and that's all she hands me is the coffee. So I told her, I said, don't bother with the food because right now I'm too nervous to take it. It doesn't matter how many hours I've been up. It doesn't matter what I've done for anyone. Right now I'm too nervous to take a meal from McDonald's because I can't see it being made. I don't know what's going on with people nowadays, but please, just give us a break. Please just give us a break. I don't know how much more I can take. I've been in this for 15 years, and I've never, ever had such anxiety about waiting for McDonald's drive-thru food. So just have a heart, and if you see an officer, just stop. Because I don't hear thank you enough anymore. All I want is just my next couple days off to just be so chill. No uniform, no nothing. Just for a couple days. It'll get better, I know it will. This will all blow over. But hopefully, it blows over sooner than later because I just want some McDonald's. I love you all.
A policeman is a composite of what all men are, I guess, a mingling of saint and sinner, dust and deity. Called statistics, wave the fan over stinkers, underscore instances of dishonesty and brutality because they are news. What that really means is that they are exceptional, they are unusual, they are not commonplace. Buried under the froth is the fact. And the fact is that less than 1/2 of 1% of policemen misfit that uniform. And that is a better average than you'd find among clergymen. What is a policeman? He of all men is at once the most needed and the most wanted. A strangely nameless creature who is sir to his face and pig or worse behind his back. He must be such a diplomat that he can settle differences between individuals so that each will think he won, but if a policeman is neat, he's conceited. If he's careless, he's a bum. If he's pleasant, he's a flirt. If he's not, he's a grouch. He must make instant decisions which would require months for a lawyer, but if he hurries, he's careless. If he's deliberate, he's lazy. He must be first to an accident, infallible with a diagnosis. He must be able to start breathing, stop bleeding, tie splints, and above all, be sure the victim goes home without a limp, or expect to be sued. The police officer must know every gun, draw on the run, and hit where it doesn't hurt. He must be able to whip two men twice his size and half his age without damaging his uniform and without being brutal. If you hit him, he's a coward. If he hits you, he's a bully. A policeman must know everything and not tell. He must know where all of the sin is and not The policeman from a single human hair must be able to describe the crime, the weapon, the criminal, and tell you where the criminal is hiding, but if he catches the criminal, he's lucky. If he doesn't, he's a dunce. If he gets promoted, he has political pull. If he doesn't, he's a dullard. The policeman must chase bum leads to a dead end, stake out 10 nights to tag one witness who saw it happen but refuses to remember. He runs files and writes reports until his eyes ache to build a case against some felon who will get dealed out by a shameless Seamus or an honorable who isn't honorable. The policeman must be a minister, a social worker, a diplomat, a tough guy, and a gentleman. And of course he'll have to be a genius because he'll have to feed a family on a policeman's salary.
Thank you.
This country doesn't give us what we want.
You need to have a rifle. You need to have a chest rig. You need to have a ballistic vest. You need to have the whole setup with G-code holsters and everything. You need to have night vision, perimeter alarms, video cameras, thermal imaging, scanning scopes, all that. If you don't have that, because want elections, they don't want a democracy, they don't want freedom of speech, obviously, which is why they censor all conservatives and Trump supporters and truth tellers and so on. They don't want a Second Amendment to exist because they want a monopoly on all firepower. And by they, I mean not just the Black Lives Matter terrorists, but all the left-wing corporations that support them, the left-wing tech giants, and just the left-wing, people, insane fanatics who consider themselves to be Democrats, people who populate the cities like Seattle and Portland and Los Angeles and so on. They are all just ready to start mass murdering people. They are lunatics. They are demons. And there's an activation day coming where the full demon agenda comes out, and they will go on something like a purge, and they will mass murder all white people.
If we really want a change in this world, we have to kill white people. We have to start killing them. Otherwise, there will be no change at all. They will continue to do what they do, and they will be entitled about it and spoiled. We have to kill them.
This will happen in American cities. Actually, it's kind of already begun in Chaz, but it will spread. So I want you to know that the only response to this is to pick up a rifle and start defending yourself, your family, your community, and your nation. That's the only response remaining. You can no longer dial 911 and call police because the police have been ordered to stand down. You can't call your senator and beg them to urge the governor to deploy the National Guard, for example, because the governor is already in with the terrorists. You can't even beg President Trump to do something because he seems to be determined to not do anything.
Fucking lame duck.
Because I think Trump is ready to surrender America to the lunatics on the left. The DOJ will do nothing. The FBI will do nothing. The military will do nothing. You are on your own. You will have to fight or die. This is America today. America in 2020. You are going to have to fight or die. Are you prepared? Are you prepared with skills? Are you prepared mentally? Do you have sufficient gear? Have you practiced with a firearm lately? Do you have defense systems set up around your home so that you can detect intruders? Or maybe are you far enough outside the city where they would have a hard time finding you? A lot of cops are going to be targeted by the left, and a lot of cops are very vulnerable for this reason. And many cops, sadly, at least a lot of the cops that I have met over the years, are actually, they don't have enough firepower. You would think that being cops, they would have more firepower, but they don't. They usually have the department-issued Glock 17, typically, and they've got maybe one mag, in the pistol, and they got a spare mag, and that's it. That's it. That's crazy. You need to have a rifle. You need to have a chest rig. You need to have a ballistic vest. You need to have the whole setup with G-code holsters and everything. You need to have night vision, perimeter alarms, video cameras, thermal imaging, scanning scopes, all that. If you don't have that, you're not really prepared for what's coming, because they're coming to kill you. They want to murder all the police. And the left-wing media will cover for them. The left-wing media is complicit and will cover up the murders that are happening. And the tech giants will censor anyone reporting the truth about this. Google is in on this. Google is a terrorist organization. Google's engaged in treason.
Bet your ass.
Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all the same. All terrorists, complicit with terrorism, which is why they all need to be taken down. It's a Red Dawn moment, folks. Red Dawn moment. The president is AWOL. The DOJ is AWOL. The military has been ordered to stand down. The police are gone. They've abandoned. They've surrendered the precincts. National Guard has been, paralyzed. You're on your own. You and your buddies and your community. That's it. It's going to be up to you to defeat the terrorists and to defend your lives, your communities, and your nation. That's what it's come to. That's the bottom line. Don't have any further hope in any institution coming to your aid, because it's not going to happen. Every institution is against you. Every institution is allied with the treasonous traitors. So keep that in mind, folks. Get prepared. Be ready.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country. Maybe there will be.
If this country doesn't give us what we want, then we will burn down this system.
That is what the word radical really means. I've never been offended, and I embrace that term. We need to completely dismantle the Minneapolis Police Department.
We are not answering 911 calls right now to the personnel issues.
If this country doesn't give us what we want, then we will burn down this system and replace it.
We have an incredible opportunity to not just dig out of this crisis, but to fundamentally transform the country.
And we have an army.
I don't know if voting for him is going to make a damn difference at all. But at this point, I don't know what to think. Is he our best hope? I don't know. I don't know, because he seems like a lame duck president at this point. Another Jesuit-trained POS.
Okay, as a soldier and as a general, as a retired general, we have an army of digital soldiers. What we are now, I call them, because this was an insurgency, folks. This was run like an insurgency. This was irregular warfare at its finest in politics, and that story will continue to be told here. But we have what we call citizen journalists. Okay, because the journalists that we have in our media did a disservice to themselves, actually more than they did to this country. They did a disservice to themselves because they displayed an arrogance that is unprecedented. And so the American people decided to take over the idea of information. They took over the idea of information.
There goes that rattle.
And they did it through social media.
Dear General Flynn,
Squash that thing like
fellow
a bug.
patriots around the globe, I am a patriot, woke since 2015. I took an oath back then, but I feel the need to redo my oath to you, General Sir, to the United States of America and the digital soldiers, for freedom all around the globe and the cleansing of evil everywhere. I, Esther, will state that I do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of Digital Soldiers of the United States, and will to the best of my ability preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States, so help me God. I am reporting for duty, sir. We are one, we are many, we are everywhere, we are united, we follow the rule of law, we don't divide, we are digital soldiers, we are the news. Fly safe, General.
Hello to all of my fellow digital soldiers. I am extremely honored and proud to stand here today and take the oath with all of you. I do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear the true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take the obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office which I'm about to enter. So help me God, because where we go one, patriots, we go all.
I do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter. So help me God. Where we go one, we go all.
I do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office in which I'm about to enter. So help me God. Where we go one, we go all.
I do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter. So help me God. Where we go one, we go all.
I do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservations or any purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office into which I'm about to enter. So help me God.
I do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter. So help me God. Where we go one, we go all.
I do solemnly swear.
Imagine that. Another one blocked.
Solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office of which I am about to enter. So help me God. Where we go one, we go all.
I, David
do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, both foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and I will well and faithfully discharge.
Yeah, they blocked him too. Imagine that.
History was on the side of truth. I do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
Technically, that's the wrong hand, young lady, but we'll accept it.
That I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter, so help me God.
QAnon drop 4510. I do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear the true faith and allegiance to the same, that I will take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter. So help me God. Where we go one, we go all. Nothing can stop what's coming.
We'll filter out these scumbags real quick. I do solemnly swear and affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter. So help me God.
One more depending on a breath, and we all look away. People pretending everywhere. It's just another day. There's bullets flying through the air, and they still carry on. We watch it happen over there, and then just turn it off. We must stand together. There's no that's when we all win. Just like a heartbeat, the drum beat carries on. And the drum beat carries on.